明都察獬豸剑, the Ming Censorate 獬豸 sword by Art of Fire and Iron.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Vincent Tseng, the Wandering Warrior, and today I have a really special piece to review. This is my friend's Art of Fire and Iron made 獬豸剑. Let's check it out.
The 獬豸 refers to a mythical beast from Chinese legends. It's said to resemble a deer or a sheep with a long horn in the middle of its head. It apparently likes to live by the water. They were said to be loyal and have the instinct of knowing right from wrong. Not only that, they are impartial and will punish wrongdoers. If it sees two people fighting, it will use its horns to gouge the wrong party. If it sees two people arguing, it will bite the one who is in the wrong. So this mythic beast was the symbol of the Ming Dynasty's Censorate. I'll talk more about them later. Firstly, I must say, this sword is beautiful. The scabbard is made of walnut wood and coated with a black lacquer and varnish. The handle is a six-sided shape with a persimmon calyx-shaped rivet in the middle. There are a total of 13  獬豸 patterns on the entire sword, 12 on the scabbard and 1 on the pommel, symbolizing the 13 departments under the jurisdiction of the Censorate back in the Ming Dynasty. This Jian itself weighs about 900 grams or 1.98 pounds. The blade length is 70 centimeters or 27.5 inches. Good average length with a point of balance 15 centimeters or 5.9 inches from the handguard. The sword edges are almost parallel to each other with subtle tapering, and the tip is rounded but very sharp. It feels hefty and has a strong presence, but still lively. The blade is beautiful. I hope you guys can see the pattern on the steel. The Ming Dynasty spanned from 1368 to 1644, and in this era, their jian, or swords, were known for certain features. 云之同党虎如手七星连线鸭舌尖 So, 云之同党 is like a cloud-shaped fungus, Tremites versicolor shaped brass guard. It has a symbolic significance in Chinese culture. Gourd head pommel is 虎如手. The 虎如手 is the gourd head pommel, the gourd-shaped pommel. 七星连线, 7-star connection, inlay on the blade. This is very popular with many swords in China, especially in the Ming-Qing eras. 鸭舌尖, duck tongue tip. And as you can see, this rounded but very sharp tip resembles a duck's tongue. The Art of Fire and Iron, Censorate 獬豸剑, is meant to be a replica of a well-preserved high-ranking official's sword. I believe he would have been at least a chief censor or 都御史. The Ming Dynasty was an interesting time. The Han Chinese had overthrown the Mongols and tried to reinstate many Song-era things, but were still heavily Mongol-influenced. They tried to counterbalance the bureaucracy with the eunuchs, and they tried to use the Censorate's intelligence gathering and terror to attempt to maintain an efficient empire. During this dynasty, the Censorate was a branch of the centralized bureaucracy, paralleling the 6 ministries and the 5 chief military commissions, and was directly responsible to the emperor. The censors were the eyes and ears of the emperor and checked administrators at each level to prevent corruption and crimes. Of course, while there were righteous censors who rooted out corruption, there were also ones who took bribes and terrorized people. They were very much a feared organization in the Ming Empire. Now, I have never used a jian like this, so I'm really excited.
cut.
Yeah, I just tapped it.
You're trying to overcompensate for the fact that you're not wanting to cut into the... Yeah, see?
Another one.
Well, your precision's pretty good.
This sword cuts very well. I just need to improve my own skills. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this video so far. If you guys have any thoughts on the sword or our cutting, please let us know in the comment section down below. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. One thing we must always keep in mind when using weapons is that the weapon dictates how it must be used. You must interface with it, connect with it, and move appropriately for the weapon. And here, me and Tarek are still both learning how to use this weapon properly. I'm finding in this moment that the power chain when cutting with this weapon is different than other jian that I'm used to. And I'll get into what I'm used to a little bit later in this video. Safe to say this was really fun, but also highlighted some level of inexperience on our part with regards to this specific kind of jian. Now, I must say, this art of fire and iron, Censorate 谢字剑, is wonderful. Stabs very well, cuts very well. I only wish I had more time with it to actually get good at its cutting technique and feel. Now, let's compare it to the LK Chen 龙泉剑, which is a reproduction of a Qing era sword, hundreds of years later. This handles very differently, whipping out or casting out very quickly, whereas the Ming era Censorate 谢字剑 cleaves through heavier in a way.
Nice.
I'm quite used to it.
All in all, I like them both, but the jianfa, or fencing swordsmanship, that I've learned is more in line with the Qing era jian that the LK Chen model is based off of, rather than the Ming Dynasty one that this particular art of fire and iron sword is made from. I'd like to spend more time using the Ming style jian someday. It's pretty cool. Now, many of you guys know me as a praying mantis boxer and decoder of kung fu forms, or taolu, or as a 摔跤手, 摔跤 style wrestler, getting into Mongolian wrestling. That is all true, but I'm also a weapons aficionado, especially with the weapons of mainland East Asia, the first island chain, Southeast Asia, Polynesia, and Native Americana. I look forward to doing more with traditional weapons since I have a background in it. My friend Tarek Alsagoff is a martial artist and swordsman. He is a blended Kung Fu background, Hongga, mantis boxing, with a bit of Tai Chi and Xingyi influence. He's currently learning Shuaijiao from me and has spent years fencing with various swords from Chinese to Japanese to European traditions. I taught him a good portion of his martial arts foundation, that's mantis boxing and the basics of the 4 classic Chinese weapons, staff, spear, saber, and sword. But nowadays, I'm proud to call him not a student, but a training partner and a friend. He got this sword a while back, and today was our first day cutting with him.
So, it's a beautiful piece. Cuts great, feels great. Thank you for joining me on my journey. I still yours.